to get all this stuff fit up now for the headache rack so I can figure out height and angles and all that good stuff. I'm just trying to determine the angle here, and I think I need to just go a little bit more. See what I can come up with. Yeah, just a little. It's close from this angle, but needs just like a degree or two more. But I am also happy with the belt molding line to here. That actually looks pretty good. Looks pretty level with the windows. So at this point I have the two sides stacked together, and I'm just going to tack them up this way to ensure that they're both going to have the same angles. It's just kind of the easiest way to make sure that they're going to be a mirror image of each other. Okay, at this point I have laid out the headache rack on top of the bed, and I have clamped down both sides. I'm mainly doing this way for two reasons. One, because I don't have a table to work off of, so this keeps everything level and square, and then it also makes an easy way to ensure that I'm getting the correct width at the bottom, since I'm just clamping it to the main rails where it eventually will be welded to. And then I'm just taking a measure tape to the top rail and just making sure it's even on both sides before I tack it in. Got this up. I messed up on my measurements. I wanted to bring that down 2 more inches. I just got confused on my top and my bottom. So that sucks. This is too short once I move it down, so I'll just have to cut another piece, but I have extra, so it's okay. I had to buy another 20-foot stick just to finish off this piece here. So it's not too bad with that height, but I just don't want it sticking up that tall. If I was doing construction or something more like that, I probably would leave it, but it's not gonna be my everyday. So I'll drop it down another 2 inches. And then, yeah, just my chop saw sucks. It doesn't really cut square, so everything's taking a little bit of time because I gotta re-square out all the angles by hand and blah, blah, blah. But it's coming along. Okay, so there it is, moved down 2 inches. I'm happy with that. It's a lot better. Right above the light. Just had a brain fart on my math, I guess. So now I just need to put in this bar. And then I'll tack it back up on the frame here. And then I'll put it back up here. And then I'll tack it to the tray. And then I can start laying some bigger welds. I just don't want to fully weld it off of the tray because it's going to warp and kick out the ends. So if I tack it there, it should hold it. And then I can just maneuver around to fully weld everything. And then I think I will kick these straight up after the fact too. Yeah, much better looking. Starting to look like something. Okay, so I just have that tack there, and then you can see dead square. I don't know if I can get this with the camera. There it is. I might move that back a little bit. I've got it 3/4 of an inch. I might go to an inch there just to give us a little bit more room. There is that side. So same thing, I think if I can just get a 1/4 inch more play there, it'll just give me a little more wiggle room. So I didn't get the part before this on film, and it was basically just me measuring the tray side to side, front to back, squaring it up everywhere I wanted, and then I am just going through now and tack welding all of the tray support beams to the mounting rails that I had built, and that kind of locks everything together. All right, she's all locked down, all tacked together. So this is the next day, and I am starting to build the rear section that will hold the tail lights, the backup lights, and the license plate. I have already cut some of my angle pieces, and I'm just tacking them together so I can create the rear sections. So we got that back half welded in. Feeling kind of slow motion today. Feel like I'm getting a little sick or something, but yep, got all these in. Trailer hitch is just sitting back in there. And then I can start doing all this other stuff, boxing this in, boxing in the back, you know, just making sure there's no open areas. And then it will get skinned on the floor, and then I'll put in 2 more supports right there. And I still haven't decided if I'm going to go straight up with these guys or leave them angled, but they'll get cut off a little bit. Yeah, other than that, finally starting to come along and look like something. My dilemma, I didn't film anything today. There's crews ready to go. So I did one side straight. The guard is going to come in here, and then the back will have a toolbox. Then for the other side, which pretty much ate up all my day, I was trying to figure out these complex miters or angles or whatever, because I tucked this one in, but you can't have that consistent, so it's just like out of a weird deal there. I'm not sure if I like it. I can still put plate on the backside and it will look fine. I just don't know which way to do it. Let's see. I like that this would match the toolbox, but I don't know. I'm undecided. All right, so been a few days I was sick and busy with work stuff, but where we're at today is I decided that I'm gonna keep this angle set up. So we just gotta come over to the passenger side. We will cut that part off, weld on the angle ones. I already have all that stuff built, and then we can take the bed off and start fully welding everything in, cap up all the ends, and then we've got plate that we can start welding in as well. So I'll try to do a better job of filming today, and we'll see what we get done. Okay, just gonna disconnect this bed and bring it all down so I can weld.
Flatbed's off. Got the top dialed in, capped. It's almost fully welded. We got to weld the bottom and just a couple places here and there, and then finish capping all the ends. And then plate, I ran out of welding wire today, so I had to go track some of that down. But I found some, and yeah, it's moving along. What do you think, crews? Ready to go? Got the grinding done on this side that I needed to. Our little mounts there are all grinding. You can see some of the welds. Not all of them are the best, but difficult conditions outside in the heat. But everything's capped and pretty much ready to, you can kind of see that, flip back over. Alright, next day here is what I'm starting with, my sketchy setup. Ratchet strap to the bars, back this thing up, and try to figure out where the gas tank's gonna land right in here, so I can make this plate first. Get that all sorted before I put plate on top. Well, that sucked. I ran out of space or something. It stopped recording through that whole process, which was super unfortunate, but was able to wiggle her up on there. Okay, so right now I'm just trying to figure out if this angle into the tank is going to be, it's kind of like right at the verge of being enough. So I think it would flow like this, but the problem is where it pops up right here. Okay, So my first attempt at this is I'm going to slice on this line and slice on this line, and I've got my straight point right there. Hopefully I can twist it a little bit and weld it back together, and I think that will give me the shortness that I need. I only need like an inch. That's about what that is, maybe a little bit more, but we'll see what we can manipulate with it, and hopefully that kind of lines up and gets me where I need it to be. Fingers crossed. This is why we test fit, because this was supposed to be up here, so somehow it didn't rotate enough. So the length is good. I think that's gonna work. It's just gonna sit probably right about here. So I need to get this bend up a little bit more. So I'll cut those tacks back off and try again. Okay, so I think that is our angle right here pretty much. I'm gonna weld it in. Pretty much flows straight in from here over. It just kind of dodges with that little turn. But I think what I can do is with this bracket I can kick that up just a wee bit. And then it will just make a hole in this plate, so this slides in, and yeah, I think it lines up pretty close right here. So you can see kind of just the old mark right there. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I think that will work fine. So there it is. I just kept chasing pinholes. MIG welder is not the best way to do that type of shit, so I just epoxied it. I'll let that set up a little bit and then smooth it around a little better.